All right. Let's make sure it's all sending. Pause that. Sending datas. Cool. All right. Pause on that. Cool. Should be good. Is Discord down or something? What the fuck? Huh. That's very interesting, actually. Huh. Yeah, apparently Discord's down right now. What the fuck? That's crazy. Anywho. Welcome to the stream for those that are here, if there's anyone even tuning in yet. Gonna be doing some afternoon raid Shadow Legends as much as baby CPK will let me do. She's over there chilling for now, having fun, so obviously I might need to get up every now and then to take care of her. But she's in her play area, setting up to have a good time. Anywho, streaming some Raid Shadow Legends. It's been a while since I have streamed this game. And the main reason, just been one, I've been busy, but two, obviously I've been caught up in several other games in the meantime. But figured I would hop on, do some more. I still have a couple of hours required as far as a deal that I have with them to also make sure I get some streaming in. So that would be the other reason. But what I wanted to do today, a couple of things. One, I wanted to also do a couple of videos, create a couple of videos, and I've had this idea of one of the video ideas being basically going over a champion in 60 seconds, essentially. And just going over the champion, going over its skills that it has, where the champion would be good, and why. And then that's the video. Because I feel like when it comes to a lot of these current champion spotlights, or whatever you want to call them, that are out there on YouTube, they're like 20 to 30 minute videos, a lot of them that I find. And that's great and all, and I understand there's those that want that in-depth and discussion and being able to, really figure out the ins and outs of every single champion or that specific champion that they're looking for. But at the same time, I also feel like that there is a massive community out there that wants to be able to just search up a champion. And when they open a champion that they have no clue about, like, say, for example, one that I plan to do it on today is More to Macabre, this legendary. Not a lot of people have him. He's legendary in first place. and be like, oh, I just opened up More to Macabre. What the hell is this guy about? You know, what does he do? Sure, you could look at the reviews, but obviously reviews are very misleading a lot of the time and only give you very basic information. So ideally, this will be a way for them to be like, all right, well, let me search up More to Macabre on YouTube, and oh, hey, there's this video. It's only a minute long. Cool. And then, you know, go into it briefly, quickly go over his skills, why I think he's good or bad, and what you should look to get out of him. So that's what we'll do today. I'll do it for several. I'll probably do it for More to Macabre. I'll probably do it for Relic Keeper, to be honest. I've had plans to do a much more in-depth spotlight video for Relic Keeper, but frankly, it's something that's a lot of effort and takes a lot of time, and I honestly just don't know if I'm really in the mood for that, and I figure I'll probably just do one of these quick videos with him instead. So, with that in mind, I don't want to do that right off the bat, though. I wanted to warm up with some other things. As you can see, we have 1,400 gems. We actually have a lot of gems. And I was thinking of honestly just buying some of these guys, opening some rare shards just for the hell of it, because that's fun stream content always. Our arena rank has been dropping. We actually haven't been playing a lot, so every single week it's been dropping. We're down back to bronze. There is currently the arena event going on, so I suppose we could do that. In fact, let's just kick it off with that. Let's just do some arena match. Let's at least do the 5 arena matches, if anything, for the daily. Hopefully, even get the first part of it done. I don't know how many points you actually need. I didn't necessarily look at that to get said event done for today, or just the event done in general. I'm just gonna let it auto. I feel like the auto should be able to take care of business pretty easily, especially at this rank. Good old Relic Keeper. Good job, Mr. One-Shot King. That's interesting how in arena it defaults to manual. It makes sense because obviously in arena, ideally you want to do manual, not have it on auto. But I think that's the only part of this game that defaults to that. Everything else, if you have auto checked before, it'll actually just stay on auto. But every time you have to hit auto for arena, I've noticed that. Sure. Auto. Ow, that hurt. Not really. God, some of these teams look so intimidating, but then you realize their overall power level, because that means, one, they really haven't even geared them out. Their gear kind of sucks. And two, they haven't ascended them, obviously. So, like this comp, if it was all geared out and everything, this would actually be a pretty scary comp. But it's not, so he's going to have the chance to attack. Nice. Oh no, don't resurrect. Hidia. I'm sorry, one sec. I think we need one more win, and then we should be good to go. God, Discord is still down. It's crazy. Alexa, stop. That's right. I'm supposed to go to Walgreens today. Okay, so that should be good. So, we finished the quest, right? Yep. Apparently, we didn't make any progress in the event at all. Jesus, really? Holy crap. Even for a tier 1, you need to get that much? Jesus. It's these events sometimes, man. It's so... Yeah, you only get 1 point for each. So that's part of the problem. Yeah, this event's pretty bad. Wow. Not gonna worry about it. That's like you have to really grind arena to get anything out of it. And honestly, the awards aren't even that great. 50 energy for the first one, and it takes like, I mean, that takes what? I just played 5 matches, and I'm not even a quarter of the way there. So you're gonna have to play you're gonna have to win, 20 to 25 arena matches just to get 50 energy. Not to mention it costs you a token every time you do arena. Wow, this is a horrible event. Gotta say. Anywho, okay, so yeah, this is another thing that's clearly broken. I've done it for a couple of friends now, and they've said that they've reached at least level 30, but I haven't gotten anything. And apparently, it's just gonna lag me out. Cool. Right, good. What do I want to do? Fuck it. Let's open up some gems. Or open up some shards, I should say. Alright, we got 14 rare shards. Oh, hey, my Discord's coming back. Cool. Guess it is the right token for account before. Not sure what you mean by that, Thaka. But what's up, by the way? Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation with the clan. Kind of sucks that... In fact, is the clan Discord just gone? It looks like it is. How did I mention that? I don't even see it anymore. I need to join another clan. Man, I did hear there's a chance that 8.1 could be coming out today, and apparently there's going to be at least one, if not 4 new factions. And if that's the case, maybe I should have waited to up these gems. So that way I have a chance to get, you know, part of the new gems, obviously. It's scheduled for next week if all goes well. So on Friday it says scheduled for next week. So that means it could be any day this week. So actually, I'm not gonna worry about that. The question is, do I want to open stuff? Oh, you're talking about for referral program. Got you. Got you. Yeah, that's kind of shitty. You think I should wait? I guess. I know. I probably should wait. I probably should wait for the patch to come out. Which sucks, because I want to kind of just open them now, but you're right. Like, it's definitely a better value to wait for them to include new champions and then potentially get some of them. All right, well, if that's the case, then instead, I think we should... Fuck it, let's do the idea that we were talking about earlier. I feel like my Relic Keeper's power increased, by the way, and I didn't even do anything. It used to be like at 23,700, and now it's at 24,000. What the fuck? It's kind of weird. It's a lot of power, by the way. He's decked out. 6-star Ascended will do that. I also need... I can't believe I don't even have a necklace or a banner on him. But it's so freaking difficult to get those. I suck at Spider. All right, so let's go ahead and do the idea that we were talking about. In fact, let me take this away. Events thing. Okay. All right, so we'll do this and just see how it goes and kind of work off of it. Hey guys, welcome to... I don't even know what I want to call it. One second. Hey guys, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends Champion Spotlight. This is Breaky CPK here, of course. And what I wanted to do, obviously, if you've watched my Kale Spotlight, I put a lot of editing into that, and it was a little more drawn out. But what I wanted to do instead, rather than having to do that for a lot of these champions, I figured a different kind of format, and something that hopefully you can enjoy as well, is a format where it'll be just quick. It'll be quick, unedited, and just in one take, ideally, where I go over the champion, give you an idea of what to expect from said champion, and then you can take that from there and do as you please with it. So, without further ado, I want to kick off this series with Relic Keeper. Relic Keeper, of course, a champion that everyone has access to. He's not based on randomness to get necessarily. I guess he kind of is, but at the same time, he's your fuse option. And what I mean by that, if you go to your summoning portal, you click on this fusion tab right here, you'll see him at the very top. Now, I have him created already, so of course he's already there. Everything else is grayed out. But a quick explanation of how fusion works. Essentially what you need to do, you initially need to fuse this first champion here named Justicar. You can get him from a shard, just as you can get Relic Keeper from a shard if you're lucky enough. But more than likely, you'll have to fuse him. To do so, what that means, you have to find these 4 champions below him. So we're looking at the War Maiden, we're looking at Diabolist, we're looking at Spirit Host, and we are looking at, what is her name? Why isn't it showing up? Oh, what's happening? We are looking at I can't find her name for some reason. Anyways, point is, you get these 4 champions. Now, as you can see when you click on it, it lets you know where you can farm said champion. In the case of War Maiden, she is farmable in Deadlands. The Act Deadlands, you have a random chance to get her. Same with Diabolist, the Brimstone Path, which is the 12th and final act, of course, and so on. So you look where you can farm them. You farm them. Once you find one of each of these, you then have to level them up to level 30 in this case, as that's why it says level 30, and then it is 3-star ascended as well. So you have to level them up to 30, you have to get them 3-star ascended, and then you can fuse the said champion that is Justicar. Once you do that, you'll have Justicar. You then need to level him up to level 40, get him 4-star ascended, and then have him joined by these other 3 champions. These 3 champions include Executioner, which obviously a lot of people have opinions on. Again, they can all be farmed from Axe. You have Templar, and then you have the final one, and it's going to be the same issue. I want to say her name is Sorceress, I believe, or something along those lines. Point is, I actually have her, and so that's why it's popping up like this. That's funny enough. But point is, once you get her as well, you then get them all to level 40, you 4-star ascend them, and then once that is the case, you can then click this fuse button, and suddenly you'll have your Relic Keeper. You'll have a 4-star Relic Keeper, and you can start farming with him. Now, why do you want Relic Keeper? Well, to say the least, Relic Keeper is arguably one of the best campaign farmers specifically in the game that you'll have access to, even of legendary champions, in my opinion. And what really causes him to do that, or be that in this case, is, well, his skill set, of course. And so going over his skill set, his first ability, Crusade, is very basic. It just simply attacks, and then it also grants an extra turn if the target is killed. This right here alone is really probably the biggest reason as to why he is such a good campaign farmer. Essentially, he kills something, he does the one shot, he then gets to reset and go again. That's what makes him so good. So as long as he's going before the opposition, as long as he's going before the AI goes, then he is setting up to be in a good spot. Now, to help him get that kill, he has this ability here called Searching Strength, which places a 50% attack buff on him for 4 turns. And then, oh, by the way, it then grants him that extra turn. So it's not like you have to buff him and then wait another cycle. It actually just, you buff him, and then he just gets to go once again. So in succession, this is a very good combo, of course. Then you look at his passive, and his passive is also a very, very good tool. This also helps me, in my opinion, really good in something like Arena. But when he gets hit, when he takes damage from an enemy, he actually places a 15% continuous heal buff on himself for 2 turns. And when you have it leveled up, it actually becomes a 3-turn cooldown. So it starts at a 5-turn cooldown. It's pretty long, but it becomes a 3-turn cooldown. Same thing with Searching Strength. It actually becomes a 4-turn cooldown when it starts at a 6-turn cooldown. So you want to get these leveled up. There's a lot of value here in simply it just being cooldown reduction. And then that leads to his aura. His aura is actually the final reason as to why he is very powerful in campaign. And you can see right here why. 40% increased attack damage for all champions that are in the party with him, including himself, on campaign. So he's doing 40% more attack damage if he happens to be in a campaign, on top of the one-shot capability where he gets the extra turn when he kills somebody. AKA, he is your one-shot cannon. He will be able to carry campaign with you, ideally all the way through Brutal into the end. Now, with that in mind, how should you gear him? Well, personally, obviously this comes out of preference, but personally I've had a lot of success with 4-piece offense and 2-piece speed. The speed comes into play mainly because I do like to run him in Arena, and obviously speed is king in Arena. So ideally I want to set him up to go before the other team, and so he does need a little bit of speed. If you're just simply using Relic Keeper for campaign, honestly speed is not necessary whatsoever. In fact, you could go 6 offense and be fine in my opinion. But if you want to try running him in Arena as well, which I highly recommend at least attempting, very good for it. Get some of that speed at least, take advantage. Now, in my case, with a speed boot specifically, I happen to have attack percentage based. Now, I do this because, again, the two-set speed bonus ideally allows him to go first anyways when he gets buffed up with other teammates. Obviously, ideally want to have a couple of speed buffers to go along with him, but once he's then able to attack, 50% more attack damage is key here. And that goes back to him having the one-shot capability. You want to set up Relic Keeper to have the most chance to one-shot somebody, whether it's arena, whether it's campaign. So 50% attack damage will help him get there on top of the 4 offensive set. And then you see my gloves happen to be crit rate, actually. I highly recommend this because obviously if you crit, that's that much more damage that you're looking at. Trying to get his crit rate to as high to 100% as possible is important. I happen to have mine at 95%. By the way, you also look at the chest piece. No surprise here. I don't think it should be. I go for attack percentage as well. So you want to buff up as much attack as possible while getting his crit rate to essentially as close to 100% as you can. That's essentially what I have right here and how I've personally had the most success running him. So that's what I would highly recommend, getting that attack up for him, giving him that one-shot capability, and being able to destroy campaign and even arena for you if it so calls for it. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoy this Relic Keeper quick spotlight on Breaky CPK once again. Enjoy your Relic Keeper, everyone. He'll definitely carry for you. Okay. So that was an on-the-fly spotlight creation. That was a little more drawn out than I hoped it to be. But I think that'll work. I think I covered everything I wanted to. What's up, Baby Dane? How's it going, man? All right, so now I think I should do it for More to Macabre. I should actually move my camera for this, too. I just realized, damn. I almost want to retake the Relic Keeper one now, because I was covering a lot of stats, I realized. And I was also... You know what? I'm going to redo the Relic Keeper one. We're going to redo the Relic Keeper one. I can do better. Hey everyone, Breaky CBK here, of course, and I'm going to be doing a new series that I'm looking forward to having some fun with. It is a champion spotlight, but a quick champion spotlight for you to get set information that you're looking for and get back into the game as soon as possible. So the intention of this is simply that. I want to get you enough information for this new champion that you may have just happened to open in Raid Shadow Legends, of course, and then give you the chance to start playing it with said information. So without further ado, I figure the best champion to kick this off with would be Relic Keeper. Now, as I said, the champion you happen to summon, well, Relic Keeper is a little unique in that sense. You can summon him from a shard if you get lucky enough. However, he also has the capability of being fused. And currently, he's the only champion that you can fuse. They are going to be introducing more in the future. In fact, in a patch coming up soon, as I'm creating this video, will be happening. But currently, he is the only champion that can be fused for the purpose of actually dominating with him later on. And now, what is fusion exactly? So as you notice right there, I went to my champion or my summoning portal, and then there's this fusion button on the right-hand side that you should be able to click. Once you do so, it pulls up this screen, and a brief explanation of how this works. You have 4 champions down here that you need to fuse into this guy. He's happens to be called Justicar, and then once you have him, you join him with these other 3 champions to then fuse them into Relic Keeper. Now, how you go about obtaining these champions, all are farmable in the axe throughout the game. In fact, if you click on them, in this case the War Maiden, it'll let you know where you can find her. Of course, you can get her from shards if you're lucky, but in the case of Deadlands, that would be the place you need to farm for this champion. Not the greatest drop chance necessarily, but ideally after time, you'll get them. You know, depending on your randomness, of course, like a lot of this game. And then once you have all 4, in this case down here, you need to then get them to level 30, and then you need to ascend them to level 3 as well. Once you have accomplished this, you then hit this fuse button, and then they will form into Justicar. Once you have Justicar, you can then go about farming these other 3 champions, and the same thing goes for them, but as you see, you need to get them to level 40, and then you need to 4-star ascend them as well as Justicar. Once you have all 4 of these, then this fuse button will be clickable. You click it, all of a sudden you have a Relic Keeper. There you go. Now you may be asking yourself, why the hell do I want to bother all that time getting a Relic Keeper? Well, in my opinion, and I know many others I've talked to, Relic Keeper is arguably one of the best champions that anyone will be able to get, specifically for the purpose of campaign. Campaign's very important because everything essentially goes through campaign, at least in the earlier parts of your account. Especially if you're a free-to-play account, it certainly does. You need to farm campaign to level up champions, to get artifacts, specific artifacts in some cases. Obviously you have the dungeons for that too, but it can help with that. And then also to complete all the quests that eventually get you those couple of sacred shards, doing it on hard and brutal. So you need a champion to help get you there. Relic Keeper is your man for that. Now let's take a look at his skills as to why that is the case. His first skill is Crusade. Crusade attacks one enemy. It grants him an extra turn if he kills them. So pretty basic when you first look at it, but it's the second part that truly makes Relic Keeper what he's all about. He's about that one-shot champion. The fact that he gets an extra turn when he kills something means in campaign, you set him up to at least go first before them, and then he'll be able to one-shot all of them and then advance on to the next round. That is the idea, at least. That is then in pair with Surging Strength, where it gives him a 50% increased attack buff for 4 turns. And by the way, it's on a 4-turn cooldown when you level it up. And you want to do that ASAP, in my opinion. So he makes it a 4-turn cooldown. And then when you use the buff, it also grants him an extra turn. So you don't need to worry about buffing him up, then, oh, is he going to die in the meantime or get crowd controlled? No, he'll be able to go right away again, and it's a perfect setup for him. That then goes in with his passive ability, which is a more defensive side of it, but yet another ability that helps him be sustainable in campaign and even arena. I actually happen to run Relic Keeper in my main arena composition currently, made it to gold 2, because of his one-shot capabilities, but also because of this. The fact that he has this self-sustain makes him very powerful as well. The 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. When you level it up, that is. So it starts at 5-turn cooldown. You want to level it up just like you want for Surging Strength. Again, cooldown level ups are definitely the best value you're going to get out of using skill tomes. That's another discussion, though. Then that sets up his aura, which is the ultimate finisher, really, as to why he's just so freaking good in campaign. You look at the number right there, it should explain itself. 40% more attack damage in campaign for himself as well as others that he's paired up with. You want to put this guy in the lead spot, and he will help you decimate campaign, essentially. So that's the skill set explains why, and I think it should be self-explanatory at this point as to why he is so good in campaign. Ideally, he could just one-shot his way through in most of them, of course. He is a forest champion, as you notice, being the red mark here, the skull icon. So obviously, if you're going into for campaigns that involve spirit focus, or the green one, my mic here, then it might be a little bit of an issue, but enough, he should still be able to get there. Now, speaking of his gear, his artifacts, this is what I would recommend. Personally, I have 4 set offense and 2 sets speed. Now, I'm running the speed set mainly because for the sake of arena. Like I said earlier, I like to run him in arena. I think you could try it out as well. He's not just only for campaign. And in arena, as you may know, speed is king. So get a couple of speed buffers around him. I also like to get him that 2-piece speed set to make sure he goes before the other team as much as I can and sets up to be able to one-shot them. And then a 4 offense. Now, if you just have no intention of running him in arena, you have a much better arena comp, you can go 4 or 6 offense even, in my opinion, and that would work out great. Now, I say offense because he is all about that attack percentage as long as you have the crit rate as close to 100% as you can get. So in my case, my gloves happen to be 50% crit rate, which as you can see down here, I have 95% crit throughout all the secondary stats as well through my gear. I mean, again, ideally you want to get 100% crit, but it's not always going to happen. You have to work with the artifacts that you get. In fact, you see I'm missing a necklace and a banner still. I'm having trouble with the spider dungeon, not going to lie. Anywho, that leads me to my chest piece. I run with the attack percentage chest piece. As I said earlier, he's about getting as much attack as possible. And that leads me to my boots. Now, there might be a lot of people that say, oh, you have speed boots, you're going to have the speed main stat. Not necessarily. And again, in my case, because he's already going first in campaign with his current set, and as long as you put speed buffers around him in arena, I think you can get away running with attack percentage boots. And that's what I've done here. I found some 5-star attack percentage boots, leveled them up, and I gotta say I've been enjoying them. He hits freaking hard. Over 30,000 damage in some cases. With this single attack, and again, the idea that he then resets and gets an extra turn when he kills somebody, you can just imagine the damage that does. So you can tweak with this. You can try your own things. You can try speed boots if you like. That's completely up to you. If you are going to be running 6 offense, I would probably recommend running speed boots because, again, you need to make sure he goes before the others, at least in campaign, and that should ideally help make sure to get him there. So there you go. There's Relic Keeper. I hope that gave you a good idea of what to expect with this champion and why he is arguably one of the best campaign doers in the game, especially in the free-to-play accounts and earlier accounts in general. Get him. He is worth it 100%. You will no doubt enjoy it. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching this Relic Keeper Quick Spotlight. Okay. I think that was better. That felt a lot better, at least. I'll blow my nose. What's up, miss? That's how you paid for your house? No, not at all. Cool. Alright, so now I need to figure out what other champions I want to do for this. This looks awesome for a mobile game. It is a really good mobile game. It's called Raid Shadow Legends. It's, yeah, the graphics are crazy. It's actually very impressive, the graphics that they have in this game. Yeah. What was I gonna do? You know what we will do? We're gonna open up 4 shards. I'm greedy. I want to open up some shards. We're gonna open up 4 ancient shards just to see what we get. So we'll leave it at 10 for then when the patch comes out. Yeah, energy. Obviously, a lot of mobile games are based around energy for the sake of monetization and making money. This is no different. It's bad. I will say for this game, they do give you a lot of access to the energy, though. So as long as you're willing to play the game, and the game is all about grinding anyway, so if you're not into grinding, then it's not going to be a game for you in the first place. But there is certainly ways to earn it throughout free-to-play. You don't necessarily have to spend money to get the energy. Alright, those are all bad. Cool. Alright, you're a vanilla WoW player. Grinding's not an issue, yeah. Yeah, you should know all about that then. Yeah, that's why I enjoy this game, because I come from, like, Diablo and shit, so. It reminds me a lot of that as far as the grand life goes. Let me make sure. I am streaming, right? Sure. On YouTube? Yeah, I am streaming on YouTube, okay. Alright, before I do another one, I probably need to make sure my baby's distracted a little more, because she keeps squawking at me. 1 second. yum snacks. Yay! Love that smile. All right. So we need to figure out what champion we want to do next. I think we're going to do Apothecary next. So I've used him a lot. Yeah, let's do Apothecary. Hey guys, welcome to another quick champion spotlight. I'm BreakCBK, of course, and I figure we go into next a champion by the name of Apothecary. Apothecary happened to be one of the first champions that I opened on my account when I was first getting into the game, and little did I know, I ended up finding a champion that I would still be using today, some 3 or 4 months later even, as a part of a lot of my main compositions, including my arena team currently, as well as in most dungeons. And campaign for when I'm trying to progress through it, and eventually was able to beat Brutal. So now Apothecary started off. The only way to get him, from my understanding, is you have to find him in a shard. So obviously it's coming down to randomness there. He is a rare champion though. He is magic focused, as you can see. Being blue, he's of the High Elf faction. So there you go as far as a very basic start. As far as the skills and why I personally think he is a very strong support champion, he's all about speed, baby. And as you know, a lot of this game comes down to speed to make sure that you get to go before your opponents, even sometimes multiple times, thanks to said speed buffs. Now, in the case of Apothecary, Boon of Speed is arguably going to be the one of the best speed buffs you can find outside of some legendary champions. As far as what it does, it places that 30% increased speed buff on the allies for 2 turns. And then it also fills the turn meter by 15% when you happen to activate it. So using this as an opening ability is arguably, again, going to be one of the reasons why you go first in arena, or just whatever the case is. And in a lot of dungeons, using this to make sure you can even get a couple of turns off before the dungeon boss would attack or respond even. Now, as you notice, I have it leveled up, and this is very necessary. He's a champion that you need to spend rare skill tomes in to level up as soon as possible, because both his Boon of Speed ability as well as his heal ability, he will be able to get the cooldown reduction down to a very significant, very low one. In this case, a 3-turn cooldown when it's already applying for 2 turns. And again, the fact that every 3 turns you get to fill your turn meter by 15%, pretty freaking ridiculous. That leads to the Soothing Chant, which is his heal that I was mentioning. The heal's interesting. It's not game-changing in my opinion, but the fact if you get it to level 5, making it that -1 second cooldown, it becomes a 2-turn cooldown. So ideally he's either casting Boon of Speed or Soothing Chant. And this goes back to the point, there's some turns where he will get multiple turns off before the reaction happens of the opposition, and in most cases a lot of dungeons. So this heal is going to be off cooldown a majority of the time when needed. It's also unique in that it can crit, as you see right here. The fact that this heal can crit is definitely a unique aspect to it, and a pretty nifty one at that. So topping somebody off when they're about half-life or even lower is very, very possible when you're running Apothecary. So the single target heal and a 2-turn cooldown strong. His Scatterbolt ability, very basic, but at the same time, potentially kind of strong too for certain dungeons. The fact that he just attacks 3 times at random, off the bat, you think of the dungeon, I'm blanking on the name, Fire Knight's Castle. That's what I was trying to think of. Fire Knight's Castle, where the dungeon, of course, is all about getting those attacks in initially, so he takes away the shield, and then he becomes more vulnerable to take damage. Apothecary really is a perfect support champion for that dungeon specifically, thanks to Scatterbolt. Now, Scatterbolt does have some downside, and in fact, Arena is one of those that come to mind. If you use Scatterbolt against a team that happens to be crowd controlled, either slept or something from one of your other teammates, there's a chance that it will wake them up, even though you don't attack them specifically. So That's a slight downside to Scatterbolt ability itself, but overall, it can be pretty strong once again, and it's something like the Fire Knight's Temple. And then his aura, not the greatest. His ally defense in dungeons by 21%. You're likely not going to use him as a leader. So that's something I wouldn't really think about. But again, he's really all about his bonus speed. Is his main reason why he's a very, very strong support champion. As far as his artifacts go, again, completely up to debate on what you want to do. But personally, I just run 6 speed set. Like I said, he is all about speed. That's what he's bringing to the table. Speed is the name of the game. You can fix him with some HP artifact sets if you like, because obviously applying speed is great, but he can only do that if he's staying alive. So mixing some of that in isn't out of the question. But to make up for that, I go 6 speed set, and then I look for substats such as health. In this case, he doesn't have it on here. He has crit rate though, which of course is good for the heal. Something I did off the bat, I did stack crit rate on him, thinking that, oh, his heal can crit, it's really good. Personally, it didn't seem like it was that great. It goes back to, I would rather have survivability on him than crit rate. And that leads me to my gloves, which I only have at level 12 currently, but I have HP percentage focused gloves. I think that this is arguably the best main stat that you can have on his gloves, because again, it goes back to the reason of, you could go for crit rate to make sure that heal crits every time just about you use it, but then he is not going to be as tanky, and then he could likely die, whether it's arena or whatever else, that much quicker. So I've had more success personally with the HP percentage, and my chess piece is defense percentage. I personally would prefer HP percentage, but I just haven't come about finding a 5-star chess piece yet in the speed category for that. So I'm working with the defense percentage, but ideally it would be HP. And then of course I'm running speed on the speed boots. There's no question there in my opinion. It's only 4-star, so I'm a slacker. But that's what just makes the most sense to me. So again, he's all about speed. Speed and HP, I think, is the name of the game for Apothecary, and that's what you should be looking to focus on. So if you happen to get an Apothecary, he is a very good champion that could help you progress in arena all the way to gold, in my opinion. He's going to be great in dungeons, great in clan boss, great in campaign. He's just a very, very good, especially for being a rare champion across the board when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this Apothecary quick spotlight. Tune into the next one. All right. Cool. All right, we got a couple down. Got Relic Keeper and Apothecary. Ideally going to do at least one more, if not a couple more. Who should we do next? See, these are champions. So I did a very popular champion at Relic Keeper. I did another one that's, semi-popular. People can get through shard openings. And now, do I want to do like a pretty unique champion? I think I want to do Mortu Macabre. Again, the chances that somebody searches for a video for Mortu Macabre it's probably pretty low, but I think it could be fun to do a legendary one that maybe a lot of people don't have. I'm trying to think of what I want to talk about him, though. Okay. What do I have on his gloves? Crit rate. Yeah. It's only 4-star gloves, though. Jesus. HP percentage, chest piece, and then speed on boots. And I have the HP percentage because the second attack is HP based, right? Yeah. And so is Peril. Wow, I wasn't even aware of that. It's not even attack based at all. Interesting. All right. So let's do Mortu Macabre. Hey, Breaky CPK here, and I'm ready for another quick champion spotlight. Now, this one's going to be a little legendary, you can say. See what I did there? No, but this happens to be the only legendary champion that I have access to that I got lucky enough to find in one of my first... In fact, it was my very first Sacred Shard opening, so not to rub it in or anything, but He's my only champion that I've gotten that's legendary, and the name is Mortu Macabre. Quite a unique name right there. He is a spirit-focused champion of the Demon Spawn faction. So if you've happened to have the chance to open up a Mortu Macabre, congratulations. First off, I'm here to kind of quickly go over why I feel like he is good, and, you know, in some cases maybe not that strong. But that's the point of these videos. So without further ado, we'll start with the skills and what makes this champion, again, in my opinion, a pretty good legendary and that I've had a decent success with. Starting with his first ability, straight up, his first attack, he attacks only one enemy. However, it's a 60% chance to place a 100% heal reduction buff for 2 turns. It's attack-based as well. Of course, you think about this, there's a lot of reasons why this is already a great auto attack opener. There's a couple things that come to mind. Arena is one of them. You know, preventing somebody from getting killed in arena could potentially be good. But then, of course, there's things like the Spirit Dungeon itself, where it's based around healing the dungeon boss. You put this on him just simply from a main attack. You don't have to worry about a cooldown. You can definitely get through that dungeon quickly. So any kind of dungeon boss that is focused around heals, I believe Fire Knight is also along that boat as well. He doesn't necessarily have too many multiple attacks. He does have a second ability, which we'll get to in a second. But point is, putting that heal reduction debuff on is going to be clutch. So this gives him a lot of openings, the Stigmata, as far as being able to run him in some dungeons and working with him pretty effectively. Falling from Grace is the second ability. A lot of text here, but essentially what it does, we'll just read it out. Attacks all enemies 2 times. So it's an AoE attack on all enemies twice, and then places a blocks buff debuff on them for 2 turns, and or if they have the heal reduction debuff, that is. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a blocked buffs debuff for 2 turns against targets that are not under the heal reduction. So whoever has a heal reduction debuff, if you put that on first, they will then guaranteed get hit by this. If they don't, there's still a 50% chance, which is pretty damn good. And this one's also based around HP as well as attack. So that's kind of key right there. And something you want to think about, as, by the way, he is an HP-focused champion. So, but the Falling from Grace, I've had a lot of success with this ability, specifically in Arena. This is another reason why I personally like to run him in Arena. But again, there's some dungeons that come to mind where this could be certainly powerful. Being able to block buffs on said dungeon boss, certainly an effective tool. So that's something else that you can definitely take advantage of. As you can see, I don't have anything leveled up. Now, when it comes to leveling up the abilities, he is not that good for leveling up abilities, in my opinion. There's some things like the buff debuff chance, getting plus 5% a couple levels, it's okay. The cooldown reduction would be nice, but spending 6 legendary tomes to even get there, not really that good. So I don't know if it's worth leveling him up and spending your legendary tomes on him. That's just kind of a side note, though. That sets up a very unique thing about this champion, in that he has a passive ability right here that unlocks a secret ability. So the passive ability, he has a 10% chance to unlock the secret ability, which is called Peril, for 1 turn. It also has a 20% chance to fill this champion's turn meter by 25% when he's attacked. So it does a couple of things. One, unlocking the secret ability, but he also has a chance to then increase his turn meter by 25% just simply by taking damage. So the idea that he can kind of go is certainly there. Now, Peril, though, this helps make him a very strong champion in some cases, when you think about it on paper at least. Now, I'll get to that in a second. So it attacks 1 enemy 2 times. It ignores shield and block damage buffs completely, as well as defense. So it's just straight up pretty much pure damage coming through. And then if the enemy happens to be killed, they cannot be revived at all. So once again, in Arena, potentially could be pretty good. But there is the dungeon, the resurrecting, I'm trying to think of the name now, the Ice Golem's Peak, where you kill one of those minions of the dungeon boss by a scythe, then all of a sudden he can't actually resurrect that one. So now, as strong as this sounds, through my experience, there is the downside that it has to proc. And again, it's only a 10% chance to proc when he takes damage. So I feel like throughout a dungeon fight, ideally you should get at least 1 proc, but there's no guarantee that you're even going to get 1. Getting multiple is nearly out of the question. It's very rare that's happened for me on things like Clan Boss or whatever. So again, personal experience, as strong as this may sound, and from when you open this champion, don't get too excited about it. Albeit when he does proc, it feels pretty damn good to use it. But this sets up his aura, which in my opinion makes him a crazy strong champion, you could argue. You read that right there. Straight up increases his ally speed by 24% in everything. It's not specific on a dungeon or an arena. It's literally any battle. It's a 24% speed increase for him and his teammates. This is probably one of the strongest auras in the game. I don't know every single aura, but I gotta believe this has to be one of the strongest auras in the game. Obviously, this game is so much about speed in the first place, specifically with things like Arena, but really just anything, speed is going to be a great stat for you. You compare that to somebody like a Gorgoroth, which is a very popular champion in Arena. He has a 23% speed increase, but it's just for Arena. Again, the fact that this impacts everything from campaign to dungeons to whatever is what makes us very, very, very strong, and why I pretty much always run him in that leader spot if he happens to be involved in my lineup. So he's all about speed there. Definitely something to take advantage of, and you can certainly feel it when he's involved in that leadership spot. So it's kind of the breakdown of his skill set. Take that how you will. As far as his artifacts go, as you may notice, by the way, his peril ability is also HP damage based. So with that in mind, I was trying out some things initially, running him in some HP sets, but honestly his damage still felt pretty underwhelming. So I switched up eventually to a 6 offense set to really make sure he's getting that damage in there. But then I focused things like the gloves around, well, I focused the gloves around crit rate. Tried to make sure his crit rate's up. I got up to about 75%. I think you could argue actually getting that more HP focused is potentially good. The chest piece, I do have HP percentage on it. It is 5-star here. But yeah, make sure to get the HP up for one, because he's going to take that advantage being an HP champion himself. So it's that much more life he has. And then the boots, I do stick with speed. You know, making sure to get that speed in there is of course important, and trying to make sure that he goes first. So this is currently the artifact set that I'm running with. I do think it feels good. Like I said, I've tried running the life artifact sets before, and it feels like his damage is fairly underwhelming when you run it that direction. I think if you run life set, if you go the attack percentage focused gloves, perhaps that could be a way around that to help with you, or even the attack percentage chest piece at the point. Maybe you could work with that, but this personally is what I've ran with, and I feel like has worked out pretty well for me when it comes to Mortu Macabre. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you happen to open up a Mortu Macabre, again, congratulations. He is a very solid champion for many different fights. Again, I go back to his aura as why he really can be used in anything, and extra powerful with that. So enjoy Mortu Macabre. Thanks for joining the spotlight. We'll see you next time. All right. Cool. So we got some champion spotlights in. We got 3 of them. That feels pretty good. Trying to think if there's anyone else that might be useful. And the only one I'd probably be comfortable doing is Gorgoroth. Outside of that, though, I don't know if it really makes sense. Because a lot of these ones I haven't really ran too much. Glad you finally got yourself some male characters as well. What do you mean? I got my War Maiden. This armor is just fantastic. some of these armor vests are. I mean, hers is a little more realistic, I suppose. I mean, a lot of the female characters actually have decent armor sets, but then it's just, yeah, you throw in this one, you're just like, what? Huh? Okay. Even this one's not like as bad in my opinion. She's got full pants on, even some arm guards to an extent, and like her gear was certainly allow her to move swiftly. Alright, well, I got those videos out of the way. I got an hour stream in. Trying to think if I want to call it there for now. Actually might, because I do have some chores to take care of with baby CPK. How many do I have? Excessive. When are you going to open up Faction Wars? And this idea sounded really cool, but the fact it's been like almost 4 months now and it still hasn't even, no information's come out, and it's not released, let alone no information's come out, kind of takes away from it. It's like, if you're going to put something like this in your game, it better be coming out, you know, sooner than later, right? Like, it's kind of stupid to have a tease like this in your game physically and then not actually have any information or release it. It's basically, it makes a point that it's like an idea that they had and probably were going to put it initially, but then they scrapped it because it was more work than they thought. But they're just like, let's just keep the button there, you know, to keep people excited. But there's a point where that excitement turns into frustration. Let's see. God, I really wish I had a better spider champion group. Actually, I wonder running with Relic Keeper. Possible that would be. Throw him in, throw Relic Keeper. Kale. Let's see how this works. I don't think this is going to be that good, but... Kabloom. See, he needed to kill the spiders. I don't know why he attacked the main guy. I might need to control it. Yeah, see, that was really dumb to attack him first, right there. He just full healed. As long as my Relic Keeper can one-shot each of these spiders, then it should still be okay. with you. Really? So he just keeps summoning it. I'm so confused. So why does it just spawn another one when I kill it? That's so dumb. Okay, well, the Roller Keepers is awful. Alright, whatever. He's just gonna full heal again. See ya. That's not gonna bother. Ugh. I know my Ethel is good. Kind of. Actually, yeah, I'll take him out. Let's put Executioner in. Let's see what happens with this. A lot of poison adding up. Crappy, and now we heal. Yeah, Apothecary's gonna die. Let's see, he actually just eats everything right now. If I'd Acid rain up. God, did he not have a heal? He should have a heal. What is he doing? Fucking AI, dude. Thank you. Doesn't actually kill it. Damn. I mean, it does some good damage, but I think my guys are gonna die anyways before it matters. Yeah, my kill build is actually not the best for this either. I've been more clan boss focused. Don't die. Yeah. Oh, there goes the Thal. Nothing I can do about that. Oh my gosh. Oh, you being fussy. It's just not gonna be enough. Alright, I'm gonna call it. Baby CPK is being fussy. Alright, gonna call it there. I want to thank you guys again. Quick stream. But I wanted to get those videos done and need to do the live stream to do that as well. But so thank you for tuning in. I might be on. Excuse me. I might be on a little bit later today in the afternoon to either do more of this or maybe play Underlords. We'll see. But I should be back in the evening, if anything, to definitely play some more Underlords later on. So for my usual evening stream. But thank you guys for tuning in. For those that did, really appreciate it. And have a good night. Have a good day. See you next time. Peace.